A gang who plotted to flood North Wales with hard drugs has been jailed for a total of 34 years. The 19-member organised crime group sourced cocaine, ketamine, amphetamines and cannabis from Merseyside and Leicester over a 12-month period. The drugs gang was smashed after police launched Operation Blue Triumph, and the gang members were each sentenced over a 2-day period at Mold Crown Court this week. 7 members of the gang were jailed for a total of 34 years and 1 month. On the first day of sentencing, which took place on Thursday, prosecutor Simon Rogers said Josh Burden played a leading role in the plot by supplying drugs from Halewood in South Liverpool to the organised crime group in September 2022. Police searched his bedroom and found 100,000 in cash and 10 packages. These contained 211 grams of cocaine with a 80% purity and another 639 grams of cocaine with a 78% purity. In total, they had a street value of between £21,984 and £27,480. Josh Burden was supported by his cousin John Burden. When police searched John Burden's home, they discovered 5,000 cash and 200 grams of cannabis. The plot unravelled as part of a separate offence. Police executing a search warrant found John Burden had 342 grams of cannabis worth up to 3,500 and 18.89 grams of cocaine worth up to £1,880. Another defendant, Lee Taylor, 39, of Hawkins Street, Flint, was a courier. When police stopped his vehicle, they found a plastic bag containing nearly 700 grams of cocaine worth between £108,000 and £135,000. Ketamine worth up to £800 was also discovered, the court heard. The judge, His Honour Nicholas Parry, said 19 people had been in the organised crime group during the year-long conspiracy. In 2022, 4 types of drugs were sourced from Merseyside and Leicester for onward supply into North Wales. He said such drugs can cause harm to people, householders and businesses, as well as health problems including fatalities. He added just over 1 kilo of cocaine alone was seized, and it would defy common sense if that were taken as the amount of all the Class A drugs in the overall plot, he said. However, he could only sentence on the basis that 1 kilo was found. Josh Burden, 33, of Penfold Close, Liverpool, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine and cannabis. He was jailed for 6 years and 8 months for conspiring to supply cocaine for the first offence, but there was no separate penalty for the second one. John Burden, 31, of Sherborne Avenue, Halewood, Merseyside, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine and cannabis. He was jailed for 6 years and 6 months for the first offence, but there was no separate penalty for the second one. He was also convicted of possession of cocaine and another Class A drug and of cannabis, all with intent to supply, and jailed for an additional 3.5 years. Colin Land, 60, of Saron, near Carnarvon, pleaded guilty to conspiring to supply amphetamines and cannabis. He was jailed for 27 months for the first offence, and there was no separate penalty for the second offence. John Lomax, 53, of Ross Avenue, Leesau, Wirral, was involved in plotting to supply 4 types of drugs. He was jailed for 4 years and 3 months for conspiring to supply cocaine. There was no separate penalty for his offences in conspiring to supply ketamine, amphetamine and cannabis. Ian Birch, 62, of Haycastle, Haverfordwest, was jailed for 27 months for conspiracy to supply a controlled drug of Class B, amphetamine. There was no separate penalty for conspiracy to supply a controlled drug of Class B, cannabis. Lee Taylor, 39, of Hawken Street, Flint, was jailed for 5 years for conspiracy to supply a Class A drug, cocaine. There were no separate penalties for his other offences of conspiracy to supply Class B drugs, ketamine and cannabis, and possession of a Class A drug. Robert Lawton, 58, of Claude Ponson, was jailed for 3 years and 8 months for conspiracy to supply Class A drug, cocaine. There was no separate penalty for conspiracy to supply Class B drug, cannabis. Stephen Robinson, 53, of Rose Lawn, Bellinger, Carwin, admitted conspiring to supply ketamine and cannabis. Barrister Simon Killeen urged the judge to suspend the sentence, partly as he is viewed as posing a low risk of reoffending and his remorse. The judge said he could make an exceptional case, particularly due to his military service, and as he has bowel cancer, he gave him a 21-month jail term for each offence, with one running concurrently, but suspended both for 2 years. He also ordered Robinson to wear an electronic tag during 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew for 4 months and to attend 20 days of rehabilitation activity. Tracy Williams, 60, of O.L. Clwyd, St. Asaph, had had some relationships which had negative effects, so she took to cannabis and became a chaotic dealer, according to her barrister, Damien Nolan. She turned to hard drugs to resolve her issues and could never get away from those circles. The judge said she was not coerced or manipulated, but chose to become seriously involved in the plot. However, she was of previous good character and had been taken advantage of, he added. Williams pleaded guilty to conspiring to supply cocaine and cannabis. He gave her a 2-year jail term for the first offence, but suspended it for 2 years. She must do 20 days of rehabilitation activity. There was no separate penalty for the cannabis offence. Annabel Kitchen, 25, of Gwenamidith, admitted participating in the activities in an organised crime group. She was said to have been acting wholly under the direction of her partner Shane McGinn, 33, of Flintshire, and was in fear of not agreeing with his demands, according to the judge. She received a 14-month jail term, suspended for 18 months. She must do 150 hours of unpaid work and attend 20 days of rehabilitation activity. Nicholas Bamford, 50, of Bryn Sannon, Brynford, admitted participating in the activities of an organised crime group. He got a 2-year jail term, suspended for 2 years. He was ordered to do 200 hours of unpaid work and must attend 15 days of rehabilitation activity. Douglas Madonna, 59, of Lewin Drive, Connors Quay, pleaded guilty to participating in the activities of an organised crime group. He was given a 16-month jail term, suspended for 2 years. He must wear an electronic tag during a 3-month curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. He must also do 20 days of rehabilitation activity. Megan Stacey Davies, 25, of Lancensford, Powys, admitted conspiracy to supply a controlled drug of Class B, amphetamine, conspiracy to supply a controlled drug of Class B, ketamine, and conspiracy to supply a controlled drug of Class B, cannabis. She was said by the judge to have transformed her life for the better. She was given an 18-month jail term, suspended for 2 years. She must do 200 hours of unpaid work. David Lee Hughes, 40, of Lewin Elwy, St. Asaph, admitted being concerned in the supply of Class A drug, cocaine, and being concerned in the supply of Class B drug, cannabis. He got 16 months in jail, suspended for 2 years. He must also do 280 hours of unpaid work. Diane Crowley, 59, of William Jessup Way, Liverpool, admitted possession of Class A drug, cocaine, and participating in the activities of an organised crime group. She was given a 14-month jail term, suspended for 18 months. She must wear an electronic tag for a month during a 6:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Isaac McAvoy, 27, of Markets Lane, Liverpool, admitted participating in the activities of an organised crime group. He was given a 12-month community order and must do 50 hours of unpaid work. Please like this video, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my crime channel. Thank you.